Dr. Hershey Bell is in here, and you brought your compadre. Let me give you a microphone there. How are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, Gil. How are you doing?
That's good. It's good. Always good to see you.
Yeah.
Who do you have here with you?
This is Dr. Emily Beck. I'll let her introduce herself and tell you what she does.
Emily Beck?
Yes, Emily Beck. I am our corporate director for patient experience.
You know, during my promo, I was promoing you guys, and I said that a student and the student Emily Beck will be here as well.
No.
I blew that one, but that's good. But it's good to have both of you here. And the medical school is up and running, and it's doing its thing. Dr. Bell, you are the founding dean of the school, and you know, we've done this story so much together. Where as it was developing, as we were turning dirt, and here we are. What's going through your head right now? Students are walking through, getting their stuff going on here.
There is nothing like walking into that beautiful building every day and seeing 64 young, energetic, smiling faces eager to learn medicine. It is so uplifting, and it invigorates not only the building itself, but the entire health system. And in fact, you know, we talk a lot about the medical school, but it really is a bigger story than that, Gil. It's really about the transformation of Cape Fear Valley Health to becoming a true academic health system. And that's where, you know, Emily plays a major role. She looks at the entire experience that patients have within that health system. And now that we're an academic health system, it really raises the bar. You know, I like to say to people that for many years, you know, the conversation around Cape Fear Valley Health was around local competition, places like First Health and UNC Southeastern. But now, as an academic health system, Gil, we're in the same conversation as Duke University, UNC, ECU, Wake Forest. And that's really Emily's charge, is to ensure that the experience patients have in our health system is at that high bar.
Absolutely.
Well, talk about that a little bit, Emily, because, you know, it is an evolution of a process that goes on there. You got 64 students now, and I've always been an advocate to say, hey, we don't have to go to Duke. We don't need to go to Wake Med. We got experts here that can talk about different events, different medical things, cyclosporiasis, whatever it might be. We got people here that can talk about that. And so now with the medical school here, that just reinforces that even more.
Absolutely. Dr. Hershey Bell mentioned the evolution and transformation of the way that we approach care and grow these students and continue to challenge us to be the best for our community on the same level of these academic institutions, not only here regionally, but across the country. And what better way to do that than to partner with the school, the health organization, and our community? Ask those that know best, what do we need and how can we continue to grow the knowledge within our organization and medical school to really point us in the right direction?
Okay, and so now what's the direction now? You got students there. You got the beautiful building built right on the campus there at Cape Fear Valley Health. You got the beautiful building. You got students there. And so how do you grow it? What happens next?
I'll talk on the medical side. I'll let Emily talk on the patient experience side. On the medical side, it's about growing the array of specialties that we can offer. It's about increasing to grow the number of outpatient practices. You know, when I joined the health system 5 years ago, we had 64 outpatient practices. We have over 100 now. We have specialties that we never offered 5 years ago. We're and my favorite story to tell is that, you know, I've been involved in recruiting physicians into the health system since I got here. And 5 years ago, you know, people came because they wanted to find a job in this part of the country. Now they're coming because they want to join a growing academic health system. And, you know, some of them even say, well, tell me about Fayetteville, because I don't know a lot. That's not the reason they were looking at the job. So we're starting to see a whole different generation of physicians, nurses, other allied health professionals join our system. And incidentally, you know, Emily, your background is in nursing, correct? And it's not, an academic health system isn't just about medical students. It's about nursing students and PA students and OT students, all sorts of healthcare professionals. And that's really where the partnership with Methodist University comes in as well, as we grow all of those fields.
And when we talk about the experience, I think we continue to grow and elevate the voice of our patients, our families, our community, even our employees, understanding where can we continue to really grow and expand our knowledge, the depth of practice and service offerings, and identify those gaps so that we can continue to fill them in collectively from our internal practices and partnerships. I'm really excited because getting the opportunity to partner on an experience project with the Methodist teams as well as the Cape Fear teams to develop a survey that asks our community, what are we missing? Where can we grow experience? Where can we grow care? What services can we bring to you to identify those gaps and barriers and address them together? Our patients, our families, and our community, you're our lighthouse. You point us and shine the light in the direction we need to go. And who knows best? Our patients do. And so we have to start with asking them.
And so as this thing evolves, and it is an evolution.
Yes.
Dr. Bell, what I call you Dr. Bell, I call you HERSEY. You've been here so much, and we talked about so much stuff. As the evolution continues, and you see this as the founding dean, there's a lot of folks who don't know the origins of this. That phone call that was made, your desire to do it, and the former chief of the CEO of the hospital giving you a call. Just give us that background here so people understand the significance of how quickly this happened.
Yeah. I still give Mike the business for walking away from all this a little too soon. But, back in 2019, it was actually me that gave Mike a call. Our college was looking to start a new MD school in the Southeast. And Mike and I used to work together 25 years ago up in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I called him and I said, Mike, you interested in starting a medical school?
And we're talking about Mike Nagowski.
Mike Nagowski, 2019. And he laughed. I'll never forget. He just laughed. And I said, what are you laughing about, Mike? He said, I was about to call you. And that led us on this journey. And we landed on, of course, Methodist University. Our partners at Methodist, 2022, we approached them within 3 months. We signed an affiliation agreement. Dr. Warden and the new named president of Methodist University, Dr. Suzanne Bloom-Malley, who will take over the reins in July of 2027, they were all in from the beginning. And the medical school, the partnership with Methodist in Cape Fear Valley, it's been nothing but a dream since it began.
Yeah, and I'll talk about the transitions because Mike Nagowski retired.
Yes.
We have new leadership coming in and old leadership kind of hanging on to make sure there's a good transition. Yeah. Talk about who the new players are and how that's going to play out.
And Emily's a big part of that new leadership at the health system. So when Mike stepped down, he immediately, the board appointed Dan Weatherly as our interim CEO, and within 3 months named him CEO of the health system. Dan has been at the health system 15 years, was the president of the medical center and the chief operating officer. And Dan's strategic vision for where he wants to take this health system from where Mike took it is really extraordinary. And he's put together a great team, including folks like Mike Tart, who's our new chief operating officer, Susan Dees, who's our chief nurse executive, and then some folks who've been there for a while, folks like Sam Fleischman, who's our chief medical officer, and Tom Powell, some wonderful leadership in IT, Phil Wood. And we're now actually going through a new change in human resources as well. And Brett Johnson, who's been a big part of the medical school project, he's our chief financial officer. But Emily's come in. I mean, you've been with the organization
10 months.
10 months. I was going to say 2 years. I didn't realize all that she's accomplished in 10 months. That's really amazing. But why don't you talk about that?
No, I've had the privilege of being with Cape Fear now for 10 months, and it has been a journey of dreams, to say the least.
I mean, let me have you pull that microphone a little bit closer to you. Yeah,
absolutely.
But don't get around there. I don't want you to look like Pinocchio. Just pull it up a little closer to your mouth so we get some good sound. There, much better. Yes.
Wonderful. 10 months, and it has been a privilege and a dream. I have had the opportunity to partner with many leaders from across this organization, and to speak of the caliber of care and innovation and servant-style leadership that I get the privilege to witness every single day, but also the strategic initiatives that drive the growth from the front lines as well, bringing in team members who are deeply committed to providing high-quality care and want to do right by our community, by our colleagues, by our organization, to continue to bring Fayetteville the care and empathy that they deserve.
Well, look, I want to hold you over here because I like the fact that you came in early because you're supposed to come on right now. But look, I'm like Johnny Carson. You step in that doggone lobby, I'm bringing you, put you on mic here, and we're going to talk about things and get as much information as we can. Stand by for a second. We'll take care of a little bit of business here. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast right now with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsey.
Today will be partly cloudy with an isolated storm and a high of 92. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 73. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a few afternoon and evening storms and a high of 92. And Sunday will be partly cloudy with more scattered storms and a high of 94. After some rain this weekend, high temperatures will climb into the upper 90s next week, and it will feel even hotter due to high humidity. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsey.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. 75 right now in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also at Fort Bragg. You're listening to News Talk 640. We are WFNC.
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Let's go to table 7, where Jim and Linda have a beautiful lie near the window. The weather is a perfect 70 degrees with no wind. They're contemplating what to pull out for this first round. Looks like Linda's going for the fish. Do you think that's a smart move? I think it's a delicious move, but you can't argue with Jim's decision to go with the steak.
After your round, join us in the Lane Tree Restaurant for a meal or skipping off and get right to the main course. Thursday is steak night. Menu and tea times at lanetree.com.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done, fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size, fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ziprecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Bays on WFNZ News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2 WFNZ.
News Talk 640 WFNC. We're going to get away from that music right away because I want to make sure that Dr. Bell and Dr. Beck are heard in all the countries all over the world. And I don't want them to kick us off because they'll kick us off. It's happened. Greek, you got to be on top of it. What do you think?
Yeah, we're getting ready to make a change.
Are we really?
Yes.
See, man, that's how we work here. We don't mess around. We roll. We're going to make a change here. If you're just joining us right now, Dr. Emily Beck and Dr. Hershey Bell are with, here's the name, the Methodist University Cape Fear Valley Health Medical School.
Really good.
Man, turn microphones on here. Make sure we got mics. I don't hear number 4 here. How are you doing today?
We're doing great.
Okay, now mics are back up. We're good to go. Man, that's a long thing.
Yes, it is.
So do you guys walk around with business cards that go into 2 pockets or something? Or you back? How's it?
That's why we had to build such a big building.
So I guess, is it the acronym? Do you use the initials? Or how do you do it?
Yeah, we use MUCFVH School of Medicine.
Yeah.
There you go. Even that's a mouthful, though.
Well, I would vote to just call it Methodist University Medical School.
Yes.
But Cape Fear would have something to say about that.
Well, that's the issue. We got to make sure that both the parents are happy.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
and rightfully so, because
Yeah.
they've given birth to something really
amazing,
really special. Is it a boy or a girl?
Jury's out.
Is it the jury's?
Well, when I look at the bill, I say to people, "Isn't she a beauty?"
Isn't she a beauty?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dr. Bell, you're the founding dean, and good things are going on over there. During the break, I always say some of the greatest conversation goes on during the break, and we were talking about the fact that each of the 64 students got $40,000 in scholarships. Explain that and how that happened.
So Cape Fear Valley Health very generously is providing $40,000 in scholarships for every single student in our first 2 classes. So our current class and the class that will come in next year each receive a $40,000 scholarship from Cape Fear Valley Health. But it's not just that, Gilbert. We've raised, and I'd have to do the math quickly, but I'm guessing well over $3 million in additional scholarships, some from private donors, some from foundations. The county commissioners gave us $1 million for students from here in Cumberland County who want to remain practicing here. So this year, we were able to provide through actual dollars and endowment dollars, almost $2 million in scholarships to our incoming students.
Look, let's talk about the significance of this, because there is a shortage of doctors. And the whole premise behind this was to try to get folks to come here, love this community, and say, hey, not only did I get my degree here, I'm going to stay here. Who wants to take that one?
Well, let me start and then segue into how Emily impacts that in a huge way. So part of it is, medical education is not inexpensive. So scholarships make a huge difference in helping students, especially, our community. Let's be honest, we are not the wealthiest region in North Carolina. So the students we want to attract, it is difficult for some of them, and we want to make sure we can help provide the means. But it's not just tuition and being able to afford medical school. It's coming to a community where they feel welcome, where they get to experience the entire array of what medicine can offer. And that's where Emily comes into the conversation, because the experience that they'll have taking care of patients at Cape Fear Valley is unlike anything else they'll see in the state. Emily?
Yes, absolutely. The patient populations that we get the honor to care for and partner with bring such a large array of medical needs and complexities that continue to challenge our students and our providers to think outside the box. And where else can you find a better place to innovate and get to partner with the community that cares so deeply and is so deeply rooted in history? It's truly a remarkable experience for every person that gets to step inside the walls of the organization to say, I can make a difference, and I can do this in conjunction with this person, this family, and our community partners.
Emily won't blow her own French horn, so I'll blow it for her. But every single month, we have what's called a leadership meeting at Cape Fear Valley Health. And what Emily does at that meeting is she presents an array of statistics that help us understand where we are meeting the bar around patient experience and where we still have work to do. And through her efforts, we've seen nothing but progress in those measures.
And it's a continued opportunity for us. We recognize that this is going to be a never-ending journey. That bar is always moving, but our goal is to be the bar eventually. And we can't do that without partnering with each other and without our patients' voice in our community. I think getting the opportunity to bring a survey forward where we can ask specifically what are those needs and start to have those conversations on a larger scale, and then to take it back to these new students who have this opportunity to step inside these walls and bring new ideas, new creativity, and energy and excitement that is going to drive our medical community for Cape Fear, for Fayetteville, really into the future is exciting.
You know, we're going to run out of time here in a second here, but how hard of a sell is it to get faculty to come? How hard of a sell? Because we had a bunch of students that applied. Talk about those numbers, because that was crazy.
We had over 1,500 students apply in the first year for our 64 positions, and we started 4 months late. This year already, we're at 1,200 applications, and it's only August. But it's not hard. People hear the mission, they understand why we exist, and they want to be part of us. We've, knock on wood, and this looks like wood here, knock on wood, we have not had difficulty recruiting faculty and students.
Yeah, if you didn't want to hear, there's wood up here too. You can knock on the wood here. Well, you know, the main thing is it seems to be off to just a fantastic start. I've heard nothing but great things.
Thank you.
And you know, it's just going to be good for our community as it continues to grow. As the students go through the residency and do what they do for the patients here, it's just like a win-win-win.
It is.
And how come we didn't do this like 15 years ago? Have you asked yourself that? Say, this is overdue.
So funny you say that, because it actually started, believe it or not, in 2008. You know, when Mike Nagowski first got here, this was his vision. And you have to build it a piece at a time through the physician practices, the graduate medical education residency programs, and then the final step is the medical school. So this is actually an overnight success that's taken a good 17 years.
All right, well, look, this is not the last we're going to see of both of you as these things progress, as stuff goes. You just had one of the students throw out a pitch at the Woodpeckers game?
Yeah, one of our students, Jacob Bowers, who was a former pitcher at high school up in Durham, and had actually played a game down here in Fayetteville in high school. He came down and he threw out the first pitch. He smoked it.
I was getting ready to say, man, he must have laid it out. Were they shocked? Were the Woodpeckers shocked?
Well, the catcher gave him a thumbs up, so that's good news.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the involvement that we're talking about, that this community has way more to contribute than the average person who thinks about Fayetteville from 20 years ago will ever imagine. The whole downtown, the Segra Stadium that's down there, and the plans for a downtown convention center, all the stuff that's happening here.
If I can give a shout out to Dr. Hank Parfit and his wife Diane, who really did a miraculous job getting the community rallied around our students.
All right, look, Dr. Emily Beck, we thank you for coming in. Dr. Hershey Bell, always a pleasure to see you. Got to have you back on, talk about music again at some point. He's a rock star. We got a rock star in here. And look, if he comes Greek, he will give us permission to play his music. We won't be banned in 15 countries.
But I have the same problem when I put music on my services. If it's a cover song, it's banned in like 14 countries.
That's okay. Exactly. Anyway, look, great conversation with you folks this morning. It's a podcast. I'll make sure you guys get a link to it as well.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We got local news right now with CBS 17.
Good morning. I'm Greg Funderburg from the CBS 17 newsroom. A guilty verdict this hour in the murder trial of Carl Wiggins in Sampson County. Wiggins is convicted of killing his wife. Kara Wiggins was reported missing in June of 2021. Her remains were found buried in Roseboro nearly 2 months later. A jury found him guilty of first-degree murder and concealment of a death. Court records show Wiggins is appealing the verdict. Happening now, there is a new woman taking the title of Miss North Carolina USA. Brittany Boltonhouse is being stripped of the title she won just over a month ago. A statement from the chairman and CEO of the Miss USA organization said the decision was made together with Boltonhouse, her state directors, and the Miss USA organization. The statement goes on to say the Miss USA organization does not tolerate racism, homophobia, transphobia, or language that strips any person of their dignity. Mila Hadley, who was runner-up, will now represent North Carolina at the Miss USA pageant later this month. The Johnson County Little League softball team will now play Saturday in the semifinals of the Little League Softball World Series. The All-Star team took on the Southeast Regional team from Florida. North Carolina walked away with a big win. The final score was 5-2. The team will face the winner of today's matchup between Florida versus Washington. From the CBS 17 Newsroom, I'm Greg Funderburg.
Today will be partly